people, the founder of Stanbic IBTC Bank, and Mr. Petersid joins me now from our studios in Lagos. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Petersid, for joining us. You've been almost sepulchrally silent since the presidential election just over a fortnight ago. This is the first time you're speaking publicly on television since that ballot. Why have you finally agreed to speak now?
And thank you, Charles. You know, by my nature, I find it difficult to speak about anything without doing my homework. So I needed time to do my homework, get information that's available in the public space from all over the country. Nigeria has 36 states. So now I believe I've done my homework, so I can speak a little.
I am exceedingly eager to hear what your homework entails. But before we get to it, I mean, your political affiliation is a little bit murky. At one point, I believe you were a member of the Social Democratic Party, the SDP. Are you still in the SDP?
Oh yes, I'm still a proud member of the SDP, so please don't get confused, Charles.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up, because of course you publicly endorsed Peter Obi on this program ahead of the presidential election. I mean, I wonder if you went out and actually voted for him on February the 25th.
Oh yes, I said I was going to vote for Peter Obi, and I voted for Peter Obi. I was one of the luckier people. I came out on Saturday morning, the polling booth near my house in Victoria Island. I saw the crowd, the youth there. I joined them. They told me to go in front and vote, that I was an elder. I was accredited successfully by Beavers. I voted and left and put up a tweet that it took me all of 5 minutes to vote. And later on, I just came back to get the results, you know, at the end when they were counting. And in fact, I believe you have the result of my polling unit using Nigerian parlance. I'm among those who managed to deliver our own polling unit.
We've called that Exhibit 1A, so we can see it on the screen right now. Tell us about that.
I think there's always a little delay, so what you see in Abuja will probably show up here in Lagos a few seconds later. But I think the Exhibit 1A was the results from my polling unit. So even though I cannot see it, I have the results with me. I mean, my polling unit, the result was, there were only just under 100 voters. Labour Party had 51, APC had 26, PDP had 15, and APN 1, ZLP 1, and 3 votes were voided. So Labour Party won and got almost double the votes of APC, and that was in Victoria Island in Lagos. The polling unit is the one called Ozumba Mbadiwe, or polling unit number 240801031. So right. Later on, I checked the results. I mean, this is what we're supposed to do. When the results came out on INEC website, I went and checked the results, and that is Exhibit 1B. I saw the results sheet there. It was published. What INEC published for my polling unit was the exact same results that I saw on the day. So I don't have any problem with my polling unit. And if this was the experience all over the nation, I will be the first one to say, there's nothing to discuss. Unfortunately, the evidence shows that I was one of the luckier ones in terms of being able to vote early, no voter suppression, no delayed start. The results that were published were the same as what we counted. And so everything was hunky-dory.
Well,
so if we go on...
Right, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that, I mean, we're seeing all kinds of polling booth results now being uploaded or displayed on social media, I think uploaded on iRev as well. I mean, how satisfied are you with the presidential election results as declared by INEC? And if you're not satisfied, why not?
I'm not satisfied because I saw too many irregularities. And please, all the information I'm using is in the public space. Information I'm using is available from INEC website in terms of the IREV and the result sheets versus what in some cases the parties and the polling agents are insisting is the result. And I will give a few examples. You know, if you show Exhibit 2A or something like that, and because it's not, and don't forget that there are whistleblowers. A polling agent might be 22 years old. If you bring out the wrong results, he starts screaming, begging everybody to come and look at what he has put up or what you have put up. So I don't know if you're able to show Exhibit 2A. All I'm seeing is on your program, I'm seeing myself.
We can see it on air, so you can tell us about it. It's on air at the moment.
Well, okay.
You may not see it, but it's on air.
If you can see it, yes. Okay. The Exhibit 2A shows you somebody from Rivers State. Just an example, I could have gone anywhere, but Rivers State is also my home state, so why not? So people there have my telephone number, they have my contact details, they have a right to scream and say, look, Oga, come and see what's going on here. So what do you see there? A young polling agent is screaming. In my polling unit in Rivers State, he says, Labour Party got 223 votes. APC got 8 votes. Let's just stop there. The other parties got very little. So I repeat, Exhibit 2A, the polling agent is screaming. Labour Party got 223 votes. APC got 8 votes. When you go to Exhibit 2B, that is published by INEC on the IREV. Now, it's possible this polling agent is wrong, but the results are reversed in Rivers State, where he says Labour Party got 223. INEC has uploaded APC 223. Where he says APC got 8, INEC has uploaded for APC 223. Now let me explain something about BVAS. So some people don't know. The one important thing BVAS does is that all the votes must add up. So you must always make a minimum of 2 changes. If you make only 1 change, it will not add up, unless it was somebody that scored 0. And even then, if you change 0 to 0, only then will you have the same result. But you must make 2 changes. So this polling agent is screaming that they reversed the results. Labour Party is saying got 223, APC got 8. INEC is showing the exact opposite between those 2 parties. So the votes are balanced. And when you look at the image that INEC actually uploaded on IREV, you can see on the right-hand side where they put where they put the words. You can see that the words have been altered. Tipex has been used. Hey, I'm not an criminal investigator. I invite people to go and look at the same information themselves. This is polling unit number 32, 15, 07, 031. You can see that beside the APC, the figures in words have been bastardized. If you look at the one for Labour Party, in fact, they've Tipex both the figures and the words, and it's thoroughly bastardized. So on the face of it, I'm unable to dismiss what the polling agent was screaming, that something seems to have gone wrong here. Also, I should mention that because I've been involved in opinion polls and so on, you don't just look at 175,000 polling unit results. If you have been looking at election results since 2011, you know where the dead bodies are buried. So you know if from all the results, opinion polls and so on, the trends, whether Labour Party is supposed to do well in Rivers State or not, whether APC is supposed to do well or not, you can look at all the trends. So when you suddenly see people screaming that all that was done was that the 2 numbers were switched, APC's tiny votes given to Labour, and Labour's Labour's huge votes given to APC. So the whole thing balances. So again, I'm just presenting information. I saw it on INEC I looked at the information, it looked like it had been altered. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm answering your question, am I satisfied by that? Of course I'm not satisfied. I would like more investigation. We can look at Exhibit 3A.
Right. Well, let's look at Exhibit 3A, because we need more information. I mean, you can't, there may be anomalies in one or two sort of polling booths, but we need to see more. So let's see Exhibit 3A then.
Yes. Yeah, Exhibit 3A is going to Bauchi. Because I'm going around the country, just a few examples to show you why some of us are not happy. Exhibit 3A, you see a polling unit results in Bauchi. Forget about all the things INEC announced telling you that Labour Party scored almost nothing. In Bauchi, we're not a player at all. It's polling unit result. Again, the agent was on social media screaming that in my polling booth, Labour Party got 199 votes. The polling unit is known in Bauchi, it's on the exhibit. APC got 78, PDP got 95, and so on. Then the same little agent is screaming that somehow, when what he saw on Channels TV or something, so in one polling unit, Labour Party gets 199 units, but that by the time they aggregated the results for all the wards, the whole LGA, that the figure that he now saw for Labour Party, he claims, was 185. So which means that the result declared, according to him, for the whole of an LGA is less than what Labour Party scored in his own polling unit alone. Again, I'm just throwing these things out because they're available on social media. These are people who have put it out, and I've gone to INEC to go and check the result of the polling units and seen that, yes, indeed, Labour Party got 199 votes there. It was the highest in the polling unit. So the guy is not lying. If he made other mistakes, it's not from this polling unit results as uploaded by INEC. So we can go to Exhibit 4. Again, I'm just going around to different parts of the country because this information is available everywhere. When you go to Exhibit 4, that's the polling unit result in Imo State. Again, it's from INEC website, please.
Right.
I don't invent data. It was downloaded there, and I give the polling unit number. You can go and see it, unless they changed it 5 minutes ago. That's the result they announced. It's polling unit number 1624060002. What is unique and different about this result that INEC uploaded? If you look at it, Exhibit 4, you will notice one thing. It was not signed by any single party polling agent. The earlier ones I showed you, in Rivers and Bauchi, you see each party signed beside the figure. In Rivers State, the complaint was that after they signed, somebody seemed to have altered the results. In this one from Imo, not a single political party signed. So what is the result? Only signed by an INEC official and put on an INEC website. And what does the result show? APC got 600 votes, Labour Party 4, PDP 16. It's not initialed by any political party. It's possible INEC can explain that probably the original result sheet got lost or disappeared, so it was their own official called Mbakwe that filled this out all by himself. So he by himself filled out something, total number of votes 620. APC gets 600, Labour Party 4, PDP 16. No political party signed. Again, there are polling agents in Imo, in those same areas, screaming.
Right. Well, let's just move quickly because I want to be able to talk to you before we run out of time. There's another Exhibit 5. Just tell us about that. What's in it?
Exhibit 5, that's Lagos. Yeah.
Right.
Exhibit 5 is from Lagos. Again, you see two images side by side. One on the right-hand side is from a polling agent saying this is the result on the day. It has no alterations, no serious alterations. The one on the left is what INEC posted. massive alterations, and you can see that the result has totally changed. So somebody is lying. Either the polling agent is right, what he's showing you on the right, or INEC is saying for whatever reason, after that clean copy, they've made adjustments all over the place, and it's the same end result. Votes that went to Labour Party have shrunk or disappeared. Conversely, we know who the beneficiary is, because it was balanced at the end of the day. So this is the trend that is worrisome.
Right.
And this is why I'm concerned. I don't want to waste your time by going to other states.
Right. Well, you've given us a kind of bird's eye view of what might have gone wrong, but obviously that's different from what is actually admitted in a court of law, and they would have to prove a lot of things. But as you review the presidential elections and assess the results, would you say that Beavers and IREV were helpful at all?
See, Beavers was helpful because it established the total number of voters who were accredited. So whatever you're altering, like I said, you must add and subtract that so we can see you doing the alterations. IREV was helpful because you must post for us to see this horribly altered result sheet that I'm calling Exhibit 5, which the party is disowning, saying it's not the correct result. So those things were built in and they give us transparency. And I'm happy that INEC posted this result available for the whole world to see. And everybody can go and check on that particular polling unit result and compare it to what the polling agent is saying on the right-hand side. So I'm saying that something is wrong somewhere.
Yes, well, I mean, there is the sense that a lot of people share your sentiments. But obviously, those election results are now being challenged in court. I mean, how do you rate the chances of the PDP and the Labour Party in court?
You know, I'm not a judge, but I only talk about the evidence that I myself spent time scanning through result sheets. But you see, there's a pattern, and that's the one that's disturbing. All the examples I showed you were votes of Labour Party transferred to APC on the face of it. PDP votes left untouched. Now, it's about magnitude overall. How was this done in a huge scale all over the place? And let's be careful, this is an election with a low turnout. If the sum total of such incidences, which I have examples of and I've shown some live, if the sum total was, let's say, 1.5 million votes only, or 1.5 million votes total that were transferred from Labour to APC, go back and look at the INEC declared results. They said APC had 8.8 million votes. If you deduct 1.5 million, it's down to 7.3. If you add 1.5 million to Labour, the 6.09 jumps to 7.6. So the point I'm making is that what the courts have to do is to look at these incidents carefully and see whether is there a pattern that shows that in the aggregate, something like 1 million, 1.5 million votes or even more were modified like this from result sheet tampering. Unfortunately, people had time to tamper with the result sheets. The last time I checked, INEC had not even finished uploading presidential elections results on the IREV. They had like 94%. I don't understand why it takes 10 days or 7 days to post a result sheet. What are you altering that it takes, we need 5 days or 4 days to post it there?
Well, Mr. Petersid, you talked earlier, or you explained earlier about doing your homework first, which is what you were doing before you then decided to come on air. But beyond that, is there a reason why you've decided to bring out all these exhibits at this point and at this time?
Yes, because there's another election coming on Saturday, and we cannot or we should not repeat this nonsense. Okay, the last time they said there was a problem with communication. Can we please on Saturday finish counting and immediately upload the results so we can all see it, instead of holding it back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, and then bringing out altered result sheets, and then we start arguing over this is falsified, that's not falsified. And also it's important for everybody in INEC to know the examples I've given. Everybody can trace it now. You know which INEC official signed the result sheet that no party agent signed. If people really falsified, it's a criminal offense. We're talking about forgery and fraud. So they should not go scot-free. And please, it's possible even that the candidate is not involved. But fraud is fraud. It doesn't matter whether if your agent carried out fraud, even you, the candidate, should say, I reject this.
That's a very good point. And I'm going to ask you what your reaction is to those who argue that in the Nigerian context, irregularities at elections are a fairly normal practice, but what really is the scale of the irregularities and what impact they might have on the outcome is the issue here.
Yes, okay, let's look at the scale. I've shown you single polling unit in Imo, 600 votes, I'm doubting. I've shown you Rivers, single polling unit, 200 and something votes, and in Lagos the same. Let's even imagine that the average was only 10 votes per polling unit nationwide. 175,000 polling units times 10 is 1.75 million votes. So if it was 1.7, if it was only an average of 10 fake votes that were transferred from left to right, it changes the result, because add 1.75 million to Labour, deduct 1.75 million from APC, immediately Labour has the highest number of votes. So it's not true that the magnitude of what you're looking for is something humongous. If it's an average of only 10 votes on average per polling unit, it changes the whole result. This election was a three-horse race. It's even possible that PDP, after you make those adjustments, got the highest number of votes. I don't know. All I'm saying is that I don't know, and I see results that are a blind man can tell that the sheets were tampered with. It probably explains why PDP and Labour Party walked out. Now, please, everybody should go and do the homework. Go and look at the result sheets. They're available.
So I mean, what sort of accountability should there be for what you believe happened during those elections? I mean, do you agree with those who say that in view of everything, from the failure of IREV and Beavers to all the other issues that clearly marred that presidential election, the chairman of INEC should resign?
You'll be surprised. I don't think so. Because the way I understand INEC, the chairman of INEC is in Abuja. I've given you examples from Imo, from Port Harcourt. If there was fraud carried out in Port Harcourt in Rivers State, and the state rec from INEC brings those results to Abuja and insists these are the correct results, to an extent, the INEC chairman's hands are tied, because he was not even there. The parties are saying this is falsified. The INEC official in charge is saying no, everything is okay. If it's a case of fraud, you have to go to court to prove fraud, because fraud is about criminality. If it's about forgery, you need to go to court. You need investigation. The INEC chairman in Abuja cannot make himself the investigator, the judge, the jury, and overrule Rivers State results. So I can understand if he's telling the parties, please go to court. Take this evidence and put it before the judges. Let the judges look at it and tell us what the whole world can view from INEC portal, that there was no distortion of results. Let the judges look at the result from Imo State, signed only by one INEC official, not signed by any political party agent, and say it's okay. See, people have to know that these things are now available publicly.
So would you, Mr. Petersid, support those from the Labour Party and the PDP who feel aggrieved enough to take to the streets in protest?
My personal view is that it's premature. I would always advocate in a society, I'm a disciplined person, go through all the processes. I don't play God. take this evidence, which I said in some cases, even a blind man can see. He can feel the tipex with his fingers. Take it before the courts. Let the judges look at it and tell us it does not matter. At that point, if you want to go to the street, perhaps I'll follow you and join you on the street. But not now. Give people a chance to do their work. It doesn't matter how much you distrust them. Let them look at this evidence which the whole world is seeing. We have become the laughing stock. A football match was played, Man United got 7, Liverpool got 0. One of the jokes in Lagos, somebody changes the result of 0, puts 10, and says INEC has changed the result. It's from these result sheets. We made ourselves the laughing stock.
Right. So, I mean, let me ask you this. We're almost out of time here, but you're a big wig. I mean, you're the founder of a bank. You're a founder of a major sort of foundation. You move around in prominent circles, and some of your colleagues in those higher circles have rushed out to congratulate the president-elect Bola Tinubu. What do you have to say about that? I imagine you haven't gone out to congratulate him.
No, each unto his own. Look, if they go through this process and the judges convince us everything was done correctly and we add up the numbers, whoever is the winner will congratulate the person. But for now, it's premature. I mean, when I can see with my own eyes what INEC has uploaded, part of what they've uploaded is an insult on anybody's intelligence. I think it's premature. They're just people who are rushing to congratulate probably have not taken the trouble to even look at the available information or the evidence. In any case, each unto his own.
Well, Mr. Petersid, we're literally almost out of time. After all the complicated politics and tensions following the presidential election and all the issues around alleged manipulation, fraud, and disenfranchisement, what are your expectations for the governorship elections on Saturday? Briefly.
It's a chance for the INEC chairman and others to redeem themselves. He should insist everybody should upload the results immediately after voting. We cannot have 1 or 2 states hold back the results and start tampering endlessly, claiming they could not transmit the results. So, I mean, INEC cannot fail twice. So first time you can give them, you can say, okay, they were trying out new systems. They can't repeat the same mistake now, for goodness sake.
On that note, I want to thank you very much indeed for coming on Arise News and talking to us and choosing Arise News, and also for a very informative chat. Atode Petersid is the founder of ANAP Foundation. He's also the founder of Stanbic IBTC Bank, and he was talking to me there from our studios in Lagos.